Hello, everybody. Hello, my dear Patreons. I'm coming today to share with you step by step process video on how you can create a book box, which will looks like this and which is opening this way in the spine of the books. This box it's made with two different deepness of the boxes. I'm gonna show you easy way how you can create with same deepness of the boxes. It's more easy way. You don't have to concentrate which side, which piece is what for which side. So start with two similar boxes, and then you can graduate to one box larger, one box smaller. If you wanna create this one from two already made books, which is possible, you need to find two books which are same in this size and in this size. The how thick they are, it's not that important like these two measurements, how tall they are and how wide they are. So if you will have two similar books, you can use them. I'm gonna be working from scratch and creating these boxes from scratch, and for that I'm gonna be using this chipboard. It's 3 millimeters thick chipboard. You can use 2 millimeters, that will work as well. But to make it strong and nice, use 2 or 3 millimeters chipboard. I'm gonna also use, just bear with me, I just lost it, any kind of old boxes or thinner chipboards which can be bent. Like this one, it's very flexible, but because I made it that way. Or I do have these boxes which are nice and strong, but they can be bound. So these boxes are perfect. These are from labels, but if you do have some box from, I don't know, maybe from pizza, or maybe that large craft envelope which I do sometimes receive from Amazon, they are perfect. I'm using that material for creating this curved spine and also the bottom of that box, so something like this. And we will get there, in that process. For creating the windows and stuff like that, I'm gonna be using acetate pieces and probably black cardstock, heavy cardstock. But if I will get, if I will use the black cardstock, you will see that, and I will tell you in that process what I am using. You can also use bucks from 12 by 12 papers, that strong cardstock. That's perfect for this craft. So go to have a look what you have. You don't have to run to straight away to buy some stuff. Just have a look what you have at home, because mostly we do have quite amazing stuff at home which we can use, and that's even better, and instead of using these chipboards, if you do have those old file folders or with that with those like half circles, I don't remember how do they call, those file folders which do have that boop, boop. You lift the handle and those half circles, they are open, and you slide there those papers. I don't remember. Circle binding, no, probably not. But if you do have those five folders, they are from perfect chipboard. Use them. They are perfect, and you will obviously have two, at least two, I guess. And we can start. I'm gonna pre-cut pieces and show you what pieces you need. I am here dividing my chipboard pieces. I am working with A4 size of chipboard piece, as I said, 3 millimeter in the thickness. And I'm dividing that piece the way where I will have minimum of cuts. This on the bottom will be my offcuts, which I will use later to create another pieces for that book box. So depends on the size of the chipboard you will work on. try to divide it the way where you will have a minimum of cuts. So for front and back, for front and back, or front and back of our box, here and here I do have these pieces. It's 23 centimeters in this way, or 9 inches this way, how tall, and 17 centimeters here, or in inches it is 6, I will say 6 3/4 in this measurement. Same as this one. 23 by 17 in centimeters, 9 by 6 3/4 in inches. I did draw first the line here on the bottom, those 23 centimeters or 9 inches, and then I measured that those 17 centimeters here, or those 6 3/4 of inch here. And I did draw these two lines. When I will cut it, I will cut first this one, and then I will cut this one. This piece I will use in my book blocks. It's this one actually, which I will use to create that box inside. And here on that A4 size, it's 1.5 inch or 4 centimeters. That's what I'm gonna be using. That's what will be how deep these boxes will be. If you are using I don't know, 12 by 12 maybe chipboard sheets, measure first this and then cut that piece in those 9 inches or 23 centimeters. So you will have this one longer, and you can divide it on these 4 centimeters or 1.5 inch, that rest, you know, from that 12 by 12, you can divide it on these strips, because we need actually 1, 2 long strips, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 short strips. So if you will divide that rest from 12 by 12 on these strips, you can create more of these what you will need. I hope that makes sense. So I'm gonna cut these pieces. So I do have 2 pieces for front cover, 2 pieces for back, for front box, back box. Here I do have these 2 of cuts, and I'm gonna measure 1.5 inch or those 4 centimeters. What is this one? And cut the piece which I need here and here, of course. Cut it on that 4 centimeters or inch. So I do have 1, 2 large pieces. I do have 1, 2, 4 these 4 centimeters strips, but I need 2 more. I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I need another 2 for, you know, opposite side. So I'm gonna grab same chipboard and do another 2 strips, 4 centimeters or 1.5 inch in the width from extra chipboard. I do have another 2 strips with same width. So now from all these, I'm gonna create pieces which I actually need for creating those boxes, those side boxes. These first strips which I had from this cutting, I'm not gonna cut rounded edges on either of them, but I will shorten them slightly. As you can see, I wanted to create kind of like frame around the sides here. Here is better visible, hopefully. So these strips has to be shorter. We need to count in the mind how big gap I want to have here, and also thickness of the chipboard. So this piece has to be shorter of the gap and the material, and same from this side of the gap and material. So I decided that I want to have the gap same, those 3 millimeters, and then you know, to have this box, I mean the gap here on the edge. So I need to cut these down of the 6 millimeters on one side and 6 millimeters on another side, which means 1.2 centimeters, and it is, I will say, half inch. Just bear with me, I'm gonna have a look here. 1.2, it is, yeah, half inch, a little bit less than half inch. So cut your pieces half inch down. I'm gonna cut it that 1.2 centimeters down. If you are working in those inches, cut it half inch down. Not on both sides, just on one side, because that way we will actually create the leg we need. I'm gonna try to use my scissors. Last time it did go well, and it's faster than with knife actually. Because I need to hold my ruler and, you know, cut it a few times. This is better. Yeah, good. And I'm gonna use this. Trace it and cut again. Now this I'm gonna take and trace on every single one of these others, or I can take that bottle and place it, you know, back on that cardstock or chipboard and do it that way. Either way, it's good. I do have my 4 pieces done, and now I can try. Just hypothetically, if I will place this edge on the edge of that large piece, how the frame will looks like. I'm gonna place this one here, hold it with my finger this way, and that. So it will make beautiful frame all around, exactly what I wanted. Now for creating the base which will hold my sides and which will create also this cute spine, I'm gonna grab one of these old boxes. If you don't have this one, maybe you do have a box from 12 by 12 paper, or maybe you do have some large piece of softer chipboard. Use anything you do have at home. If you don't have box like this, maybe you do have that Amazon craft envelope. That's actually what I did use here. Where? Oh, look at me. This one. I did use actually that craft envelope, that, you know, that beautiful craft envelope, that hard one. It's perfect for that. Or as I said, any kind of box like this will do, because it does have nice thick cardstock. Or maybe you do have heavy cardstock like 300 GSM in large size, so use that. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open that box properly. I don't probably need to do this one. I will cut it anyway, so maybe it's not important. We will see. I didn't use this box before, so we will see how successful I will be. I'm gonna have a look just quickly here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this will be actually exactly okay. So I can cut. You will need piece which will be in the size of your baseboard plus 3 of these, and you will need their small gap here on the end, a little bit more than these 4 pieces laying next to each other, so you will need that long piece. Here I can see that I can cut this one and this one easily. I don't need it there. Good. And I will obviously cut it in the process as well. This is just, you know, just to make it easier for me to work with this piece of cardstock or all the box. And one side I'm trying to cut as much straight as possible. Okay, I'm gonna keep these sides for now. I'm gonna grab a pencil. I'm gonna grab one of these long pieces, place it here on the edge, exactly on the edge. And trace. Then next to that, I'm gonna place straight away this large piece and trace. Now I'm gonna grab this one, place it here and trace again. Now I'm gonna grab one of these, place it between this, slide back. I hope you saw that. So I place this one between this, I slide it back. I'm holding it here and trace again. And now from here I'm just gonna place this one on that last line and trace again. Here I can cut all that cardstock in this size. Like this. Now when it comes about this measurement, I'm gonna grab my base piece and try to place it kind of like in the middle. Actually I should place this one kind of like in the middle here, because that will be more important. So I can see that these sides are actually what I need. Look at that. Oh, I didn't plan that, but okay. When you do have this base, these lines, take one of these long sides, these, place it here, try to place it in the middle of your cardstock. I'm gonna rip it off this side as well, because I did rip it on that other side as well. So I'm gonna make it even on both sides so I can explain it a little bit more for you. Take this piece, place it in the middle of your paper, so you will have evenly placed these edges. Grab your pencil and make a mark here and make a mark here. Then grab your ruler, count how much is here, and you know, place it here, and then draw a line all the way here, and do same from this side and draw a line all the way here. I do have easy work because this box is actually here with the size I need to have this folded. That's good for me. I wasn't planned that. It was happy accident. Look at that. I hope it does make sense what I just said, and you will know what to do. So you need to fold these sides, then you need to grab some scoring tool. I do have somewhere which I just lost. Look at me. Ah, there is it. I broke it last time. Look at that. I'm so strong. And now you need to score every single one of these lines you just draw. So score it from the edge to the edge. And I'm using kind of like a little sharp the ball. So it's not just scoring, it makes kind of like a ripped line a little bit in it because it's thick and it will be more easy, you know, to fold it. And this one. And this one. And as I said, you will need to fold also these sides or score these sides. Once you do have scored all the lines you draw, we're gonna get up the scissors and we're gonna cut the notch here. And cut the notch here. Then cut here angle to that little gap here. Then cut it here in the angle and cut this inside about the thickness of this. Try to cut here from the score line. You do have all the way down there. Try to create with your scissors kind of similar gap here and cut it there to that angle cut you have created here. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm gonna show you why. This piece is going to be folded here inside, so these angles will help you to create not bulks on those sides. These angles here. So same we're gonna create here. You're gonna cut this in the angle here in the angle. You're gonna cut this in the angle, and you're gonna cut from this fold kind of similar gap here. I'm gonna place it there. Like this. Hope it does make sense. And do exactly same what we have created on that opposite side here. I'm gonna create one more. You're gonna create one more for, you know, next box as well. Now I do have all basic pieces I need for creating the base of the boxes. So I'm gonna separate them. Always one large piece, one this large chipboard, this side, and these two sides with that curved edge for one box and another box. I can place aside that large piece for now, and I'm gonna concentrate on this. The side where I scored, it's going down. I'm gonna fold everything this way. It's much more easy. It doesn't make bulks, so everything will be scored or folded this way. And also I'm gonna get up my scissors, and on the side where there are these two with that little gap, I'm gonna separate these on a few pieces. It does have a reason. This is actually what's going to be around this rounded edge. So we need to separate them to lay it down in that rounded shape. So separate them on a few pieces, these folds. Oh, this is coated with something. I hope my glue will be okay. Maybe I will use, do have here hot glue. Maybe I will use that, although I don't like to use it in these layouts, which should be flat, because hot glue, it's always a little bit bulky, even if you try to do your best. I will try. So now, when I do have everything pre-folded, I can take these two, and one I'm gonna glue here with the edge. I'm gonna just give it a try if I am. Ooh, how about that? This way and this way. Yep. So this way, not that opposite way. I did explain it the wrong way, guys, before. Look at me. But those pieces are working really nicely all together. So you're gonna glue your large piece in this large, in this kind of like starting piece of that fold. This one is going right here. And I'm gonna place it this way, just between those folds. It's good if you will kind of like stand it down, how it will be, you know, once the box it's glued together, just to make sure it's between folds. And as I can see here, I made a little mistake, so it's good that I can also repair my mistakes, you know, my wrong cutting, like this one here. Now put the glue on this side fold, lift this up, take one of these with that curved edge. That curved edge is going far from this one. Place it here and place this one on the edge, or glue this one with your chipboard, so you will know exactly how these go together. Here, and glue this down. Maybe I will need to give it a little bit more time. Do same on that opposite side. Put there a glue. Grab your piece. Don't forget, this rounded edge is going on this side. Straight edge is going to this chipboard. Lift it up. Lift this up. And here, we need to have, you know, this edge placed the way that you can actually fit there with this chipboard. That's why it's important to glue it now here, the way it will fit. I'm gonna do straight away that second one this way, because here I need to wait to let this glued all together. It does have that coated side, which I didn't actually realize. No, I did realize, but I took it anyway. Yeah, that was maybe stupid. I'm gonna also repair this edge, which is not straight, which is not good. I do have both basics prepared. Now it will be that gluing all together part, and here I am using hot glue. So I do have prepared hot glue. I'm gonna place a little bit of hot glue here and place these two together, hold it together, and I'm making sure that they will be in the 90 degrees angle, kind of matching sides together. I'm gonna do same here. Just a little bit hot glue, you don't need big bunch. And place these together. Hold it all together. You can add the glue here on these. And I'm gonna use just normal glue because it will be wrapped later in the paper anyway. Now I'm gonna put the glue here in this line and in this line and roll. Rolling, rolling, rolling. And holding on my table, so hopefully it got glued the way it should. It looks like it's holding nicely, hopefully. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, sometimes it can get a little bit more work. So here you can add there either hot glue or you can add there normal glue. I'm gonna add there both, I'm guessing. And fold this inside. And press, 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 press. Press, press, press all together. And make it stick all together. Now, here these sides, they will need a little bit of glue, hot glue actually, because, you know, it's a tricky one. And yeah, sometimes can happen that it will don't get fold in the right spot. That's why we do have here that hot glue, so we can work with it. And if you feel that your box like this one needs a little bit more glue, don't hesitate to place it there. Just make it work. And I'm gonna glue this other side. So I'm gonna put the glue here. And hold it till it's cold and dry. And same I'm gonna do here, and I'm gonna push this side. As you can see, this corner got a little bit wonky. So I'm gonna kind of try to push it all together. Put there glue and hold it all together until it's totally dry. I think maybe. Now, once it's all dry, you will want maybe use your kind of like sanding paper and anything what will be too much, what will be not exactly, just sand it down a little bit, even those corners. And if you do have a little bit bulky thingy here, don't hesitate to sand it as well. Don't go over this. This is important to keep strong, but these edges, I mean, they don't have to be too bulky. that's one box. I'm gonna do same way the other one, and don't forget to push this one. Create that rounded look in there with your finger, and maybe you can take, you know, a tube of the glue and round it around that tube. Use anything you can to make a nice round here. And I'm gonna put a little bit of glue here because it's empty and it will get unglued if I don't work with that straight away. Sometimes to create strong box needs a little bit more time. Once you do have a base box like this, we're gonna put it together with that chipboard, and we will create extension or reinforcement for the spine, because right now it's a little bit weak and it's not that strong. So we will extend it and we will wrap all together everything. And also the spine here is ending exactly as a box, and we want to have spine which will be same as that baseboard. So for that I do have that base chipboard which I cut it right from the start, and here I do have, that's what I was talking, some softer chipboard. If you do have 1mm chipboard or that back from 12 by 12, they are mostly from nice and flexible material, or any kind of that cardstock or craft envelope. Use that for cutting the piece which is same size as your front back cover piece, and which is 3mm in the width bigger than are these sides. I mean, which is thicker of the thickness of your chipboard than is this one. My chipboard is 3mm, so this is 4cm plus those 3mm. I do have it here. If your chipboard is 2mm, you will have that 4 centimeters, not millimeters, 4 centimeters plus 2mm of your chipboard, or in inches it will be 1.5 plus, I'm not sure what this is in inches, maybe 1/8 of inch, 1/4 of inch, I'm not sure what is it in inches, this one. So count it in your measurement. This plus this together, you will get measurement of this one. So I do have these two pieces here. Now I'm gonna grab a piece of paper which I'm gonna be using for wrapping. I am using papers from Paper Roll, which does have nice big pieces of papers. You can use any kind of 12 by 12, or maybe some wallpaper if you do have, or you will create some collage paper from many other pieces. Create some piece big enough so you can wrap it all together. First, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna glue down this one the way where I can fit with this one as well, and I do have there also piece big enough to fold back over this to that board. So I can go either way, I believe here. Yeah, I can go either way. So first I'm gonna glue this chipboard down on that paper. Now I do have glued the chipboard to my paper. I do have here these offcuts which are same thickness like my chipboard. I'm gonna place it here and glue this right next to it. So between this chipboard and this piece will be actually the gap which is same size as that chipboard. And I'm gonna make sure that these sides are matching, that this I will don't glue it like this, you know, that there will be no jump. So kind of continuing in the sides here and here like this. Now I'm gonna cut this with a gap here big enough to wrap it around that 3mm of the chipboard. So create a gap bigger than is 3 millimeters between the corner and this. You can fold the paper around the edges this way, over, you know, over the edges, just to pre-fold it. And I think I'm gonna go first with this end. I'm gonna apply the glue. Especially in the corners, to make sure it will hold everything nicely. And fold this. Now first I'm gonna glue these sides with that fold around the corner. So I'm gonna apply the glue here. Fold it around the corner. And continue with this one. So I do have here folded paper glued to that base. Same I'm gonna do here. Here is a little bit bigger so I can show you a better way. Fold it around the corner and this continue fold as well and glue it all. Like this. And now I can glue these sides. I do have glued this all together, and now I'm gonna fold this one around the edge here, like this. Same on that opposite side, like this. And I'm gonna glue these parts to hold them nicely. Fold it back. And this one. Fold it. I do have prepared this. Now I'm gonna get up my little box. I think I'm gonna fold this a little bit more with my bone folder to flat it down properly. I'm gonna apply the glue on the bottom of this box a lot. And also I forgot, with my bone folder I'm gonna make this edge a little bit more smooth, not that sharp. I'm gonna flat it and make this one a little bit smooth, not like a sharp corner, but nice and folded corner. Or what is the right word though? Rolled corner. And now I can add that the glue. Oh, shoot, I forgot to wrap my box first, to black paper on these 3 sides. That's very important to do before I will glue it here. Look at me. So grab your paper. If you do have small parts, glue them on these 3 sides. If you do have a long strip like I do have here, you will glue it from here to that other side. I do have a long strip, so I'm gonna measure from this side, you know, to have on both sides piece big enough to fold it around the edges here. And I'm gonna pre-fold it here so I can know where I should go with my box later. Pre-fold it there and pre-fold it here. Oops, yeah. You have glue now everywhere. I'm gonna put a glue on that long straight side. I nearly forgot. Can you believe that? What a silly woman. Place it in the middle, like this. Now I'm gonna glue one side, other side. I'm gonna grab scissors. And I'm gonna cut these corners here, here. I'm gonna cut a little bit in angle to this piece and here. Same on this side. And a little bit in angle here. Same on this side. And also here, these corners. Corner and corner. Now, I added glue here, but I will add glue on these pieces as well, and glue each of them on my box. Now I'm gonna glue these sides again. I'm gonna cut the black paper with the scissors and glue it over the edge of these curved sides. Okay, and last not least, these sides, and fold it nicely inside. So now again, now I'm gonna put the glue again on that bottom of that box. Matching each side, and if this it will be a roll it, just gonna repair everything what doesn't sit properly. Like right now, this paper, you got to roll it. And let it sit in the middle with a very small gap here at the front. I'm keeping there a really very small gap on that right straight side. And here to keep it equal on these sides. And I need to repair these. They got stuck. Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna lift it up, put the glue here. A lot of glue. And we're gonna roll this over. And fold it inside. And this is all about kind of smush this paper. It's good to use some thinner paper, I will say, not like too thick, because you need to create this edge with your fingers here to help the paper to sit down and create this one. It's not always perfect. But with bone folder and patience, we can create magics. I'm gonna press everything with my bone folder first. And then with this one. Oh, my dog is everywhere. Shoot. Then close my glue. Wash my hands. And then to press everything all together and let it dry. They should be both kind of same, so you will have easy work to place them together like this. I do have that glue everywhere. Look at that. Oh, it needs to get dry, needs to get glued. But I do have these two boxes now. I'm gonna let this dry. I do have both boxes dry and prepared for inside insert and for creating the frame, and then for gluing all together. We still have quite lots of work to do, so I'm gonna continue. And like many times before, I am editing videos with the making this book box, and I just found that I'm for some reason missing the video where I am matting the inside of that box. So what we did till now, we did wrap these three sides in one sheet of paper. If you don't have these long strips of papers, you can just cut small strips and cover each of these sides separately. I did cover the large chipboard, including the spine piece, and then we glue it all together, and I folded this one here. And now I am about to fit inside same paper like I did used for covering. I'm gonna start with folding one straight side. I'm gonna take my ruler, which I forgot, look at me, ruler and pencil. And here it's good if you will measure, you know, these sides, because you know, it's quite lots of work to cut it around. So measure your inside once it's all glued together. Here it looks like 3 and 8 millimeters. So I'm gonna make little marks here and here. Oh, this is not so straight. This one, it's my straight side. I do have one side really straight from, you know, from that roll. So that's what I'm actually taking here. So this is straight side, okay. And I will take this measurement for every single one of these sides. Yeah, good, I did folded it right. So I'm thinking if I will be successful to do it this way, that I will fold it. Good. And then this fold I will also measure 3 and those 8 millimeters here. 3 and 8 millimeters. And draw this and this. I can either measure here, but it's never exact. So if you didn't measure like me before gluing all the box together, if you didn't measure inside, you have to do it like me now. Slide your paper inside, match the corner here, and then push your paper on one side, fold it and burnish and try to slide it in. If it sits, that's your fault, and this is sitting nicely. And I'm gonna do same on that spine side. Okay, so I can fold it here. Now, here I do have measured the size I need, those 3 and 8 3 centimeters and 8 millimeters. I'm gonna do same here and here. I don't want to have there too big overlapping edges of this paper once it's glued inside of the box. So 3 and 8, 3 and 8. I'm gonna cut these papers where I just draw the lines to make it shorter. 3 and 8. I forgot the actually few steps along of this process. That's why I'm making these steps, you know, unexpectedly actually. Usually I am very organized. Look at me. I'm not sure what's wrong with me. Okay. I think this year is very strange for creators on YouTube actually. I saw many creators to step back a little bit and taking a time to kind of like relax, not relax, or yeah, taking a time to get back, you know, on track with creativity and with thinking. Yeah, that's me right now, just thinking. Okay, I do have cut it all sides in the measurement I needed. Hopefully it's the way I need this to have for my, what is it, covering that inside. I'm gonna give it a try and I will see how bad I am in folding. Oh, come on, I can see that straight away. So bad, so bad. No, 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 this way. Okay, I think I can do it. Okay, I think I can do it somehow. Somehow, hopefully, it will work. So to make it possible to glue it somehow inside, I'm gonna grab my scissors and cut here notch, not big one. Same on that opposite side where there is that fold. I'm gonna cut notch, and same I'm gonna do here and on the opposite side. It will help me to cover corners and also put that covering paper, could put these layers kind of one on another one. Right now it's a little bit confusing, so I'm gonna take a brush and PVA glue, and I'm gonna cover all inside with that PVA glue. I do have just the floor, kind of like ish, floor of the box glued. Now I'm gonna place there my paper. I will try to do my best to get there without struggling. Not too much. Okay, I'm there. Good. Oh, look at that. Yay! We are there. I do have here kitchen sponge, which is perfect for pushing paper inside. Now I'm gonna flap the spine side and the straight long side. I'm gonna push this one down, and I will try to cover, or to add glue to this side, and also a little bit here and a little bit here, so I can glue these ends, including this side, on. Now, nicely push it to the corners, and again use that kitchen sponge to press all these papers. Same I'm gonna do on that opposite side. And then I will glue these over it. So first these again with these sides, fold it down. I'm gonna add that glue it up. So I do have it glued, and now I can put the glue on the spine side and on the opposite side, the straight side as well, and glue these long pieces. That way I will have covered all that inside. And with that, I do have covered all that piece. If you do have somewhere overlapping paper, I don't have it here luckily, but I had it before. Here a little bit, here on this side, you can see that here I do have a little bit, so I can take nail file and sand it down a little bit. So that's how I did cover the inside of these boxes, and I'm gonna continue with editing all these videos. Once I do have this, now it's time to create the frame inside. They will be actually this way together like this, and here are opening frames. When you are measuring, so like here it is 20.9 to fit inside, and here again 20.9 from this edge. I will remember that I'm gonna use that edge as a measurement. I don't wanna make exact frame because I will wrap it into paper. That will add a little bit of bulkiness on the edges, so I'm gonna count. When here it shows me 20.8, I will count 20.6, I guess, 2 millimeters down. If I will do it in inches, so here it shows me that it's 8 and 1/4, but instead of that I will take and 3/8, 8 and 3/8, not 1/4, but 8 and 3/8. I hope it's smaller measurement now. No, it's bigger actually. So 8 and what is it? 1, 2, 3, 16th. Sorry for that, guys. I'm a little bit confused from that inches measurement, but I hope you know what I mean. Not 8 and 1/4, but smaller one, which is probably 8 and 3/16. If now I'm hopefully the right way. Hope that makes sense. So I'm gonna cut frames, and again I'm gonna do 2 centimeters, or in inches it will be 3/4 of inch frames, and I will cut it off that chipboard. And I think I'm done. So I do have 2 frames which can beautifully fit inside, and that's perfect. Now I need again some very light cardstock, which will be probably this one. This is not too thick. I will say in cardstock this is 300 GSM. It's not soft cardstock like maybe this one, but it's nice and thick. And I need to cut the piece which will go inside. So if I'm taking this, so I need to cut the piece, this one, which is going to be slided inside like this. So for creating that, you know, I don't know how to call it, that sliding spot here, I'm gonna cut this one in the size of my frames, and probably actually those 4 centimeters here, or half and half, 1.5, not half and 1, 1.5 inch. Yeah, 1.5 inch or 4 centimeters will be just exactly. I'm gonna take it slightly smaller, shorter, not all 4 centimeters. I will take 3.8, just 2 millimeters down to give it there a little gap, just to make sure I can wrap it into black paper, all of this. So I do have cut it 2 pieces, which can be slide there, and as you can see there is a small gap here. So now that goes together with my frame. I'm gonna be wrapping now the frame with that sliding flap. Of course, frame will be filled with the acetate into that black paper. Before I will wrap my frame into that black paper, I'm gonna take black cardstock, and I'm gonna use that black cardstock to trace that frame on it. And here I can see that I do have perfect cardstock for it, that it will need just to cut slightly here on the edge. So I'm gonna trace the shape of my frame to my card here, and also trace the shape of this extra flap, this one as well, because in the end I'm gonna be using this black cardstock to make everything nice and neat. So I'm gonna trace it around the edges to make sure I know how big piece I need. Now here I'm gonna take this one, place it here, and just draw. I'm gonna cut these 2 pieces straight away, so I am prepared. So as you can see, I did trace the shape of that frame. Now I'm gonna cut it in exactly, or a little bit less than I draw these patterns, just because I don't need piece bigger, I need piece which will fit in it. And I do believe with this one I'm gonna be exactly here, slightly bigger, so I'm gonna cut this here just a bit down and check it one more time, and this is perfect. So I do have 1 piece for this. Now this frame needs to be either just exactly or slightly smaller. Here I do have it just exactly. Here I need slightly smaller. As you can see, here I do have, can you see that? Here I do have that line I draw. So I'm gonna cut that a little bit, and I'm gonna cut off also inside. Yeah, this is perfect. So now when I will be cutting that inside card, I'm gonna be cutting behind my line here, which I draw, and with that I will fit in it, like on my frame. So I do have my frame done, cutting done. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna straight away glue the acetate piece, or that frame on the acetate piece, because last time when I did my, my boxes, I did forgot one glued between this cardstock frame and already wrapped in that black paper frame. I forgot, I glued this one immediately down, and I forgot to put there that acetate, and it got, I had to unglue it, and my frame got into different shape a little bit. It wasn't just good, so I'm gonna do it this way, that I will prepare it straight away. Also, for those who like to use a sewing machine, that will be perfect time to use also sewing machine. Add there some sewing. Okay. Or you can add sewing after you will glue everything together, if your sewing machine can go through to this thickness material. So now I am ready to place there my acetate piece, and I do have this strip of acetate which is very close to that width of my frame, so I'm gonna try just place it this way, and now I'm gonna cut off any kind of extras all around. I do have that paper frame glued on my acetate piece. I also added here the double-sided tape. I added double-sided tape to that piece which will be glued here. It does have reason, you will see that. Now I do have here a large strip of that paper which I used for wrapping my boxes. So I'm gonna use that to place my, or to wrap the frame. I'm gonna use this one as kind of like divider as well. So here on the edge I'm gonna place that, and I'm gonna put the glue on that frame, and I'm gonna place it right here. I'm trying to have here on the end a little bit of paper, because that will get glued into the box, that will actually hold the frame in the box. So we do have it here. Now I'm gonna grab one of the offcuts from chipboard, and I'm gonna place it here and glue this strip right next to it. This is like divider again. I need to have there a little bit of the paper only. It will be not paper only, but mostly the paper. So I'm using this divider because this is the thickness of the chipboard, or this is the thickness of this chipboard, I mean, sorry, I'm kind of messing with my hands. So I'm gonna glue it right here. So I do have that glue. Now this first, straight to the edge of that frame, like that, and now this one next to my separator, like this. And I'm trying to keep this and this sides all together in one line. I'm gonna flip it over and press it and flat it. And if there will be some little wrinkles, I don't mind that much, because you know, the vintage stuff has wrinkles, so I really don't mind. Now I do have this. I'm gonna place cutting mat underneath. I'm gonna grab my knife, and with that knife I'm gonna cut here from the corners, kinda in the thickness of that frame. And here, and here, and I'm gonna cut strips here which I can use to wrap around. So now I can glue these inside around like this. Like this. Now I'm gonna fold these sides over the edges and kind of like burnish the opposite one as well. And if you don't have a long strip or a big piece of paper like this, that's totally okay. You don't have to wrap it. I'm gonna show you what I wanna do, but you don't have to wrap it like all around. So if you will have a strip of paper which will cover just, you know, these pieces and a little bit wrap it here, that's totally okay. That's why we do have this next pieces to cover that rest. But here I can show you how you can actually wrap nicely all that piece with few layers of this paper. So now I'm gonna cut here sides in the size of the frames as well. I don't want to have it there too big, so I'm gonna make marks for myself here, and here I know how far I want to go, and I'm gonna do same here. So I'm gonna cut the sides a little bit under, and same here. You can just glue it down. If you do have thicker paper, just do it like the way we cover journal covers, that you cut the corners a little bit to avoid that bulkiness here. But because I do have thin paper, I can work with what I do have here. And where there is a fold, I'm gonna cut the paper. Now I'm gonna fold these and glue them down. So like this, I do have those sides glued. Now I do have here this long strip of paper, so I can fold it over. And glue it over all this. I'm gonna fold it straight with it. Glue it over all this, then flip it over and cut exactly with the edges of the frame. I'm gonna take packaging tape, and I can show you on that part which I forgot actually to glue that acetate piece. Here I do have that tape, and here it's covered, but maybe you will see a little bit of that tape here, that shiny glossy thingy that I do have there, the tape. Can you see that shiny glossy under that cardstock? We will cover these folds with same paper, or I will cover those folds with same paper, actually with this paper. But before I will glue this paper over it, I'm gonna put this packaging tape, this plastic tape, here over this fold and here over this fold, just to reinforce it, because it will be in the work all the time, so protect it from falling apart. I'm gonna put a tape here and put a tape on that opposite side. Cut any extras. Oh, shoot. Come on. Yeah. Gluing the tape, right? Sometimes it can be very, very tricky. Especially once you push it down. Okay. So I do have covered with these folds with that plastic tape. So that means that here on these spots I will rather use double-sided tape just to make sure it will hold the paper. So I'm gonna place that double-sided tape on each side, and the rest I'm gonna cover with normal glue and glue this paper over it. On that rest I'm gonna apply the glue, and I'm gonna fold this over and glue the paper down. Press it. Now I'm gonna flip it over. I'm gonna cut this because I don't need it longer. Now I'm gonna cut that inside here. I do have cut that inside, so now on this side now I can glue the frame with that acetate piece, and also this craft paper strip on this side. So I'm gonna glue it there. I'm gonna fold this, so I know how to place best way the frame. I do have the frame glued down. Now I'm gonna use a bit of ribbon, just a small piece. Just fold it like this. It doesn't have to be too long, but I will need something. I'm gonna take off double-sided tape from this extra piece or that cardstock on this fold, which is will be closing this lid. This is the side which will be closing, and here I forgot to place it. I will have to place it. This is the side which will be glued to the spine, to that rounded spine, and here this is the side which will be lifting up and down and closing inside, and I need something to pull it out. Like here, see? Here. So I do have here these ribbons. So now, kind of like in the middle, I can mark it, just a small mark here. I'm gonna fold that ribbon and place it right here. And I'm gonna place over it a little bit more tape. Now I can glue it over. I need to pay attention, do not glue it this way, you know, that will be no good. I need to place that ribbon here to the frame. And I'm gonna fold it this way, I guess, just to see where I'm going. Like this. And glue it down. So I do have prepared that lifting. I'm gonna repair my mistake here. Try to lift it up a little bit in the middle and slide there a little bit of that ribbon. Hopefully I will be successful. And I have managed to place there a ribbon. Sorry for that angle. So now I can start to put the boxes together. I do have here a little bit of that packaging tape. So for that, I will have to probably apply. I hope it will hold. I do have paper around it, so hopefully it will hold. If you do have bookbinding glue, that will be probably the perfect one for this one. I'm thinking now. So I'm gonna spread the glue evenly everywhere, especially on that paper pieces, just because I'm kind of hoping it will then hold everything inside. And I'm gonna slide this inside, place the edge of that frame here, and press everything inside to make sure it will get glued. And just check this. I can slide this one here and push that frame in it just to make sure it is sitting nicely. If I need something to push a little bit down, I can do it now. Lifting up. Just remember, have this side with the ribbon on the straight side of your box. Not like me before when I tried to place it the other way. And then everything inside. Push to the spine. Oh, come on. I will need to use double-sided tape here. Okay, that's one side. I'm gonna do same with that next side. So I'm gonna put the glue on this soft edge, the other edge with that reinforcing inside and that cardstock on the top. It's going to be closure. So again, to that spine side, which is slightly curved and has that spine on it, just place your frame to that spine and push everything inside. Close the box and kind of push it all together. Try to push the frame in it, so that way it should get everything glued nicely, and try to make sure that the frame is with the spine in the line with the spine, that it's not spine, that jump and frame. Try to push it all together. Maybe check twice if everything inside is sitting. Like this. So I do have two boxes which I need to glue together, and this side has to be really nice and strong. So I'm gonna take again this soft paper, big enough to cover. Yeah, I think this one should be okay. I'm gonna measure. That's actually perfect. Look, that's from this side to this side. It's actually what I need. To make it strong, I'm gonna take packaging tape. And I'm gonna glue the packaging tape over. Oh, come on. over. And because I don't need like a huge piece, this will be just exactly what I need. On that packaging tape, I'm gonna place double-sided tape. I maybe have wider double-sided tape. So I'm gonna cut this around. And I do have this double-sided tape. This is actually carpet tape, but it works exactly same. So I'm gonna cover my paper with this. I do have my paper strip done, prepared. So first I'm gonna kind of fold it over. I'm gonna open it and check if these frames are actually holding inside. Oh, will I be able to open it? Look at me. I will need to fix this, okay? It's that repair one where I had to open it. So I will have to open it one more time. Lucky me. Okay. Okay. So now I'm gonna, yeah, I guess this way. Kind of ish. So I do have it pre-fold ish. I know how to place it ish. It's always worse when I'm making video. I don't know why, but it's always like too creepy and too complicated. When I don't make video, everything goes smoothly. Not sure why it's happening this one. So one side glued to one box. Then make sure that these boxes are going nicely together. Open this. Kind of flop the box together. And fold it over this way. And hold and glue to make sure that they are glued close together, that there is no gap. Like this. Now I can close this one. I will repair this, but I'm gonna close it right now, and I can close the book like this. Now this is last part what we need to create, and usually I will put here a closure, but unfortunately I don't have a closure right now. Some clasp what I can put through to these on one side and on another side, like I do have here, but I don't have it right now. So I will have it just like this, I guess. You can put magnets here in that frame and have it magnetic close together, or you can keep it just, you know, between boxes like this. Probably magnet will be best, I guess. So now on this side, to cover this, you can place another piece of paper. I will say do not put there too much bulk, because you actually need to have this kind of flexible. So put there, if you are using this paper, kind of like me, this packaging paper, it's good to place there just one strip, and that will be all. Then you have your boxes done, and you can start to decorate them. You can start to make changes, put some decorative papers inside, make better closure. Shoot. So I'm gonna unglue it again. See, it's good that I do have that double-sided tape. Such. And here I'm gonna show you here this striped one. It's actually tape, washi tape. Here I placed these brown papers. If I will kind of like unglue it, you will see black paper underneath as well. So all this was made after I made these boxes. And I think that we can do in next part, that I will do some decoration and some little changes to these boxes, and we can decorate it together. For now, I need to repair this, but the base, it's done. In that next part, I can show you how you can actually make closure. I will have a look if I do have some kind of clasps or something which we can use. And I will show you how you can add it there. For now, just bear with me, I need to repair it. And hopefully now it will hold. Show me. Yeah, it's holding. And it's holding. So we do have the boxes done. I will have a look into my stuff if I do have some clasps we can use for creating the closure here. And then we can decorate it. I'm not gonna put here any kind of cover over this one from this side yet. I'm gonna place there some decorative paper, I guess, or that brown paper again, like I did with that first box. But for now, this is done. You do have a base, and you can try to decorate it. Just make sure when you will decorate this side, it will be not a heavy cardstock. It will be some flexible paper because you need to open it. Make sure that this covering is with some strong tape inside, or you can cover it with fabric tape. This one actually, that will work as well. When you are cutting the frames here, cut it slightly smaller than is inside because you are wrapping it into paper. And also make sure you will fix this properly, because with that lifting up and down, it can go away straight away. And that's, I think, all for now. I hope you did enjoy it, and I hope maybe this was inspirational, and hopefully you will create your own boxes. They are quite fun to create, and you can actually create them from the book. If you will have a book you want to use for this creation, I will say, obviously, I'm gonna grab some book and kind of like show you quickly what you can do. So let's say I will have 2 of these books, let's say, and I will want to use that book to create that box. So first, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut off the front cover right here, and I'm gonna save it, because this front cover I can actually use for creating that frame. Then I will either make a box from gluing all these papers together and then cutting inside. I can do it that way. Or I will create a box which can fit inside here with these measurements, what my book block has, also with this kind of like high, what my book block has. That will be next step. Then I will use that front cover to create this front frame, and that rest, it's kind of similar what I did here. You just need to have the same size this way and same size this way of 2 books. If they will be one this thick and other one maybe double thick, the thicker, it's okay, because you can put them together. The thickness, it doesn't matter. So that's all for now, and hopefully tomorrow, I'm not gonna promise that, because always when I do say I will do it tomorrow, I do get it to that point maybe a week after for some reason. So I will come back very soon, hopefully I will try to come back with decorating this box soon. If I will be not here soon and you will be quicker than me, which you mostly are, just share with me your creations if you will do this one. uh, that's all for now. Enjoy it if you will create this box. Have a fun, and yeah, thank you so much for jumping in and spending your time with me. I do appreciate it so much, guys. You always makes me happy. So big hooks, thank you so much for all your amazing support. I wish you all a wonderful time, and I will come back soon. Bye.